They call it the NBA's second season. In truth, it is the real. And tonight, only one team can earn the remaining invitation to the NBA Finals. The Knicks were supposed to get there, and they started out that way, taking the first two at home. But when Indiana responded in kind at Market Square, the series began to take shape, tied at 2. Still, it lacked artistry. It lacked theater. Game 5 changed that. Game 5 and Reggie Miller. The tension and drama continued through the Knicks' revival in Game 6. And now, here they are, the Pacers in their 98th game, 48 minutes from an unexpected achievement. And the Knicks, in this, the 100th game of a grinding season, 48 minutes from what they were merely expected to do. 48 minutes, beginning now.
Is the NBA on NBC. The 1994 NBA playoffs. Tonight, Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals between the Indiana Pacers and the New York Knicks.
2 Sundays ago, Madison Square Garden was celebrating the Knicks' Game 7 victory over the Chicago Bulls. A victory many assumed all but punched the Knicks' ticket to the NBA Finals. But few reckoned on how formidable the Indiana Pacers would be, somehow forgetting that since midseason, they've had the best record in the league. Hi, everybody. I'm Bob Costas. Welcome to Game 7. The Knicks are trying to advance to the finals for the first time since their championship season of 1973. As for the Indiana Pacers, 3 times the champions of the ABA, they're trying to get there for the first time in their NBA history. But to do it, the Pacers will have to reverse some recent history, because as of now, the road team has lost 18 consecutive 7th games in the NBA playoffs, including 3 such games this year. The last road team to break through in a situation like this was the Philadelphia 76ers at Boston Garden in 1982. Now, the Pacers know they can win here. After all, they did it on Wednesday night. But tonight, they'll contend not only with the favored Knicks, but with a Garden crowd that figures to be as pumped up as at any time in recent memory. The guys who'll have to talk over the din are Marv Albert and Matt Gukas. Let's go to them courtside. Marvelous.
All right, Bob, and for the Knicks and the Pacers, it has come down to this, and Knicks coach Pat Riley feels fortunate to escape with a victory on Friday night, and he is looking for similar intensity to overcome the difficult moments down the stretch.
Well, it has to be the same way that it was the other night in Indianapolis. We cannot lose the edge. Whatever it was that motivated us, obviously we're on the brink of elimination. We have to have back. We have not staved off elimination. All we have done is earn an opportunity to come home to advance to the next round. So we got to be tougher and meaner and nastier than we've ever been in trying to secure that.
And Matt, the Knicks feel that a slight adjustment in their style changed their offense dramatically. We saw more of a running concept in the game at Indianapolis on Friday. Can they pull off the same thing here tonight?
Well, to take some pressure off their inconsistent half-court offense, the Knicks got their running game going on Friday night. And they outscored the Pacers 33-7 in fast break points, a big factor in Game 6. And speaking of big factors, John Starks had an outstanding all-around game. He not only scored 26 points, he made Reggie Miller work for his, and more importantly, he kept his emotions under control.
And in Game 6 on Friday night, that Indiana Pacers starting front line was on the quiet side in the 3 Pacer victories. That front court did the job.
Well, Indiana is going to have to get effective contributions from their starting front line, something they did not get in Game 6. Dale Davis is going to have to neutralize Charles Oakley. Derek McKee is going to have to score at least double figures, and Rick Smith is going to have to occupy Patrick Ewing. And if all of that gets done, the Pacers still just might need one more incredible fourth quarter performance from Reggie Miller. And Reggie has often said he'd rather play on the road and loves the role of the villain.
And he will be hearing it from the crowd right from the start. So the New York Knicks and the Indiana Pacers are playing for a trip to the NBA Finals. The Western Conference champion Houston Rockets are waiting in the wings.
Paying for quality can be a difficult decision at first. But over time, it gets a lot easier to live with. Acura. Some things are worth the price.
Lots of gasolines talk performance, but no gasoline delivers it to more drivers than Shell. Shell, the world's best-selling gasoline.
Hundreds of miles to the north and 30 degrees south of zero lies Canada, blasted by wind, buried by snow, and filled with ice. Molson Ice. Ice brewed by North America's oldest brewery to be a few degrees colder, a few degrees bolder, yet smooth as ice. Molson Ice. From the land where ice was born.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Molson Ice from Canada, the land where ice was born. By McDonald's, official restaurant of World Cup USA '94. And by Acura. Some things are worth the price.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Madison Square Garden, the world's most famous arena. Tonight's Game 7 of the Eastern Conference Finals features the Indiana Pacers and your New York Knicks. Here tonight's starting lineups. First for the Pacers, at guard at 6'3" from Oral Roberts, number 3, Haywood Workman. At guard at Reggie Miller. At forward at 6'10" from Alabama, number 9, Derek McKee. And forward at 6'11" from Clemson, number 32, Dale Davis. And at center at 7'4" from Marist, number 45, Rick Smith. The trainer is David Craig, assistant trainer Kevin Johnson, assistant coaches Bill Blair, Gar Hurd, and Billy King, and the head coach, Larry Brown. 54, Charles Smith. And forward at 6'9" from Virginia Union, number 34, co-captain, Charles Oakley. And at center at 70 from Georgetown, number 33, co-captain, Patrick Ewing. The head trainer is Scott Saunders, the assistant trainer Tim Walsh, assistant coaches Dick Hodder and Chuck Van Gundy, and the head coach for the Knicks, Pat Riley.
For the 7th and decisive game of the series, we have double coverage on the sidelines. We are joined by Ahmad Rashad and Hannah Storm. Let's start with Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Marv. I visited the Knicks locker room. It was very different than it was on Friday night, where it was quiet and very businesslike. Today, very feisty. Everybody appears ready to play. I talked to Patrick Ewing, and he agreed with Pat Riley by saying, whatever we did to get that intensity on Friday, we will have to have it here today. I also talked with John Starks about the motivation, even though this is Game 7. He said the motivating factor is that if we lose, we are eliminated. He said that's motivating enough. Now, for the Pacers side of it, here's Hannah Storm.
Thanks, Ahmad. Well, the Pacers did not have a practice yesterday and said they had a team meeting. They talked about the fact that they came out flat in Game 6 and they want to be more aggressive today from the start, both offensively and defensively. But the key adjustment is this. Reggie Miller, who usually bides his time, paces himself, and gets his teammates involved in the offense early, told me that he's going to come out shooting right away and be aggressive on offense and hope that he has enough left should they need his fourth quarter heroics once again. Marv?
Thank you, Hannah. Officials, Jake O'Donnell, Mike Mathis, and Hugh Evans. Before this season, the Knicks had not played a 7th game at Madison Square Garden. In 20 years, they now have done it 2 series in a row, including a victory over the Chicago Bulls 2 weeks ago. Patrick Ewing on the opening tip against Dale Davis. And Jake O'Donnell did not like the toss, and he says, do it again. Jake O'Donnell, the outside official, checking it out. Well, this time it's controlled by the Knicks, and out. Mike Mathis apparently did not care for it. He felt that Dale, let's see, did he say, apparently he stole the jump.
Actually, Patrick Ewing stepped out of the circle and caught the tip, which is illegal. The man jumping up has to go make an attempt, touch the ball, but he cannot catch the tip either by himself or by his opponent.
So after the erratic start, we are underway. Indiana controlling. Hayward Workman. Played by Derek Harper. And right at the start, an illegal defense is called on the Knicks.
On John Starks, who did not clear out with Reggie Miller. And even though Hannah Storm telling us before the game that Reggie wanted to get off, the Pacers normally go inside to Rick Smits early to get some scoring from him. And really, he has hurt the Pacers in the last 2 ball games because he has rushed things and turned the ball over. It's okay if he gets good shots. That'll help the Pacers.
Workman had it knocked away by Harper. Workman on the recovery. And it is a jump ball. They tie it up. Derek Harper had 5 steals in Game 6 at Market Square, including a big one down the stretch. Harper got a piece of that ball.
So important for the Indiana Pacer point guards to get as much penetration as possible to break the Knicks defense down so they can create shots for some of the other players rather than just either go inside to Smits or stand around the perimeter.
Well, Patrick Ewing says it's me on the tie-up. He would like to go against Hayward Workman. And Mike Mathis said, okay.
And this time Patrick jumped and touched the ball. It's okay.
So the Knicks to the front court for the first time. Oakley, met by Davis. Starks, guarded by Miller. And an illegal defense against Indiana, a most unusual start.
That was Derek McKee dropping down below the free throw line for more than 2.9 seconds. Knicks starting out their offense, looking in on one side and cross-screening for Patrick Ewing. They want to make a conscious effort to get Patrick in better positions to score.
Ewing nearly lost the dribble. Here's Starks for Ewing off the fade. Yes. So it is a 2-0 Knick lead.
Now, that's one of the big things that has been missing from the Knick offense. That little penetration and kick out. Good creative play by John Starks.
Well, Patrick Ewing with only 10 shots the other night. McKee couldn't handle that pass. And the ball goes back to New York. The last 2 games, the Knicks have gotten off to the fast starts. Last time here, a 15-2 spurt. Ewing was fouled. Davis came over to help out. And Ewing will go to the line.
A live body so far by Patrick Ewing as you get good post-up position and then a very quick move as Rick Smith's getting way out of position on the play, and Dale Davis coming over to help out. And as Dale Davis grabbing the shoulder of Patrick Ewing, and a flagrant foul being whistled against Dale Davis. Officials ruling that he did not really make a clean play on the basketball, just trying to take the body of Patrick Ewing.
Well, the officials are taking command right at the start. Patrick Ewing hit 9 of 9 from the line the other night in Indianapolis. Flagrant foul charge to Dale Davis. We've had 2 illegal defense warnings. We had some unsettling moments on the opening tip. We've played only a minute 18. Seems like a lot of activity, but it's only the Knicks 3, the Pacers nothing.
And Marv, understandably, everybody a little bit tight at the beginning of this ball game. It's been a very long series. There's not too much to think about right now except go out and play your game, but neither team able to get on track. We're obviously just in the first couple of minutes.
Smith being fronted effectively by McKee, and Smith able to shake loose, kicked out of bounds. Last touch by Indiana.
Well, Charles Smith has done most of his damage against the Pacers in the first quarter, and the Knicks have looked for him in post situations and in transition posting up.
Oh, John Starks sent flying. He took a shot. Foul by Davis, his second.
John making a quick cut to the basket as he eluded Reggie Miller, and Dale Davis, being the policeman so far, trying to pick up for his teammates and help out, gets a flagrant foul, and that very easily could have been called either a technical or another flagrant foul as he threw out the forearm shiver and decked John Stark.
So Starks to the line. Dale Davis throwing the elbow and committing his second foul.
And actually throwing that elbow before the ball was inbounded, and consequently a 2-shot foul.
John Starks has certainly come on as this series has progressed, making it back from the arthroscopic knee surgery. Struggled earlier in the playoffs against the Nets and the Bulls. And he capped off the playoff performance against Indiana with the 26-point game, including big shots down the stretch on Friday night. Knicks 4 and the Pacers nothing. Reggie Miller, yes.
A little different wrinkle to free up Reggie. That time he got a nice little back pick from Rick Smith, and John Starks, not used to that type of maneuver on the baseline, completely lost Miller on the baseline maneuver.
Ewing with the drop step. The Knicks 6 and the Pacers 2. We were talking earlier with Pat Riley, and he said the intent of the start was to get Ewing involved. Not happy about not seeing Ewing as involved offensively as he would have liked on Friday night. Foul is called on Charles Smith.
Well, another way for Patrick Ewing to get involved, since he's getting double-teamed so much, it hasn't happened much yet tonight, is when he gets double-teamed and gives the ball up, he's got to climb back in there and get on the offensive glass. He has just not been getting to the offensive board.
Workman passed on the shot. Here's Smith. Rick Smith over Patrick Ewing. Rick Smith's got the shot opportunities in Game 6, but not able to hit. He was 7 for 19 from the field. Smith passed it up. Oakley. The Knicks 8 and the Pacers 4. 2:40 gone by in the first. McKee was fouled. Derek McKee putting the move on. Charles Smith has collected his second.
Well, Derek McKee trying to get more aggressive. The Pacers, and he knows that they need more scoring from him. When they have won, he has scored over 10 points. In each game that they've lost, he's been under that. So he gives you a lot of different things, rebounding, defense, and assists, but he's got to get some points as well.
Anthony Mason has come on for Charles Smith. Anthony Mason fronting Derek McKee. They double up on McKee. And a foul is called. Antonio Davis hit by Charles Oakley, and it looks like Antonio Davis is hurt. Antonio Davis has been banged up right throughout this series. Here's another look at the pass to Antonio Davis.
Well, the whole front line of the Knicks scrambling around trying to pick up McKee as Mason was fronting. They did a good job of recovering, and he almost stripped by Oakley. But Antonio Davis feels that the Knicks have been intentionally hitting him on the top of that sore right hand, and he keeps saying if they do that one more time, he never finishes the sentence.
Well, you can see why he is upset, though. It has been a very sore hand that he came into the series with. To look at it, also bothered by a sore right elbow. Not from wear and tear dating back to the preseason, but he was upset with Charles Oakley, who got him in the elbow a couple of games back. The Knicks 8 and the Pacers 5. Antonio Davis coming on for Dale Davis, who picked up those 2 early fouls. Mason played by McKee. Oakley sets the pick. Hopper with a bullet pass for Ewing, who is rejected by Antonio Davis. Here's Reggie Miller going at John Starks, and he's fouled.
Well, another good offensive sequence by the Knicks on penetration by Derek Harper, finds Patrick Ewing, but goes up here for the jump hook and loses the ball down his wrist, and able to knocked out of there by Antonio Davis to send Reggie Miller running off, and he's just going to take it right to and through John Starks, at least trying to draw the foul, and he did.
Starks called for his first.
John Starks really has kept himself under control these last few ball games. No matter what happens, missed free throw, foul called on him, turnover, mistake, and he hasn't committed many of those. He is just keeping the poker face and playing basketball, and it's very hard for him, but he's doing a good job.
Yes, he has been under control, had the magnificent game on Friday night. Also did a nice job defensively on Reggie Miller, who did get going in the 4th quarter. Saved by Starks. And he carried the ball. Both a palm and a travel call by the official, Mike Mathis. The Knicks with an 8-7 lead as you look at Starks.
On a crossover with the left hand, getting his hand just underneath the ball and turning it over. That's a very close call. A lot of players in this league do this. One of the greatest of all time used to get away with it, and he didn't need the help.
You're talking about?
Yes, that goal right here. Michael Jordan.
Nice play. Antonio Davis gets inside, and the Pacers with a 9-8 lead. And the crowd trying to get the Knicks going. 4 minutes in, first quarter. That was intended as a pick and roll, but Oakley did not expect the pass. He was not cutting. Miscommunication on the part of the Knicks. 5 unanswered points by Indiana. Here's Smith's getting inside, and Indiana off to a good start. They lead by 3. 7 unanswered by the Pacers. And again a bad pass. Derek Harper once again lost the grip.
And again, you have to give a lot of credit right here to Hayward Workman, who's putting good pressure on Harper, keeping him from getting below the free throw line. But Derek has to do a better job of working to get the ball in better position to make a pass.
3 straight Knick turnovers. Smith's getting possession. Rejected by Ewing. Shot clock down to 2. It's down to 1. And it's a 24-second violation.
Pat Riley very much concerned over in front of the New York bench, walking down, thinking about making a move right now, because the pressure defense of the Pacers so effective on a nice move into the lane by Rick Smits, and Patrick Ewing timing it beautifully to block that hook shot. That is getting up in the air.
And again, Workman picks up Hopper in the backcourt. 7-0 run by the Pacers. Indiana by 1. Antonio Davis setting a pick. As McKee started his move, he was held by Mason. Timeout called with 6:31 remaining in this first quarter.
NBA stories live at the finals next Sunday on NBC.
Well, young fella, I got 1 year on you, so I can call you a young fella. My motto is there's no off season. My body's my business. I gotta stay an extra, step above the competition. Yeah,
you're right.
I don't want to sound like a grandfather, like that. I'm dropping a little knowledge, just a little bit. That's been passed on from generation to generation to generation.
Are your friends car guys? Car guys talk horsepower. They talk acceleration. They talk big fat tires. Now why not invite your pals over and give them something to really talk about? Introducing the four-wheel drive Passport from Honda.
My luggage is on the wrong flight? What the hey? All my business numbers are in my luggage. It's going to Bolivia. How zany. Hey, who needs phone numbers with this? Call travel agent. One word, Arnie. Bolivia.
Call Sprint for the voice-activated phone card. It'll change the way you talk about business travel.
It still bugs me that I waited to try Old Spice High Endurance just because I thought all deodorants worked the same. Dumb. This proves it's the best. Better than the leading stick. It evaporates less quickly. It also lasts longer. Protects better. You can't ignore that. Or this guarantee. Try it. If you don't think it's the best, call 1-800-PROVE-IT, and they'll buy you a stick of yours. You gotta figure anyone that serious about deodorant deserves a serious shot. Come on, take the High Endurance Challenge from Old Spice. I did.
In Game 5, the Knicks got off to a 15-2 start against the Pacers. Game 6 Friday night, they led 15-4. Larry Brown, understandably concerned about Indiana's slow starts in the playoffs. We talked about it with him prior to the game.
We've always been slow starting in the playoffs, it seems like, and we are concerned. I think, we took a lot of pressure off the Knicks in Game 6. I think they had a lot to do with it, with their aggressiveness, but you can't fight uphill all the time, and it's eventually gonna get you, and it grabbed us in Game 6. Even when we rallied and tied it, you have to play perfect when you're catching up. So I think it starts with our guards defensively, just like it started with the Knicks guards in Game 6.
And it also starts with their offense. The Pacers, if they go to Rick Smits and he misses shots or turns the ball over, it generally leads to a fast break for the opponent.
But tonight, a good start for Indiana. They're up by 1 with 6:15 remaining in this first quarter. And a foul is called as Ewing received the pass. He was pushed by Smits.
And Rick complaining to referee Hugh Evans about the call. They had been pushing and shoving for quite a while there. I assume Hugh Evans was warning them about it. And then finally a little elbow by Patrick Ewing, but the call goes against Smith.
Starks with the fake. Starks able to get to it. Ewing finding Oakley. So the Knicks take the lead by 1.
The Pacers have changed their double teaming scheme. Now they're coming off the passer. They've done it twice. And Patrick Ewing has found the cutter 2 times for easy laying.
Antonio Davis got the step. Antonio Davis with a beautiful move. And the Pacers lead by 1. 5 points for Antonio Davis off the bench. Ewing with the pick. And then gets it back. Rebounded by Mason. Mason posting up on Rick Smits, throws it out for Harper. That was a 3-point attempt. Nice back tap by Oakley. So the Knicks are doing the job here in the early going off the offensive board. They've had problems in that department. Pass for Mason, intercepted by McKee. Derek McKee with a gorgeous feed for Haywood Workman. What a pass off the dribble by McKee. Indiana leads 15-12.
Well, the Knicks post players are being fronted by the Pacers, and New York's spacing is terrible right now. They've got to raise up above the top of the key so they can throw that lob pass.
They double up on Ewing, who gets it back out. Shot clock at 4. Harper. Rebound Mason. Anthony Mason did a lot of good things the other night in pushing the ball down court. However, he did commit 9 turnovers, and the Knicks would like to see him a bit more careful with the basketball. Mason with that field goal is first. Smith's trying to come back. Rebounded by Antonio Davis. And knocked out of bounds. He thought he was fouled. LaSalle Thompson, Vern Fleming getting set to check in.
Oh, Antonio Davis just too quick here for Charles Oakley, and nobody can get there in time to help out as Charles Oakley got caught standing straight up, and the no-look pass by Derek McKee to finish off the fast break for Haywood Workman. Pacers by 1.
If you can't get to World Cup '94, we'd like to point out that the preliminary matches for World Cup 2010 have already begun. And luckily enough, good seats are still available. McDonald's, proud sponsor of the world's biggest soccer game. Even prouder sponsor of some of the world's smallest.
Time passes, things improve. In the new millennia, you'll find a luxury sedan with a suspension more sophisticated than BMW's. Body panels that fit 20% tighter than the new Mercedes C-Class, and even straighter than a Lexus ES300, all at a price starting at $26,000. Time passes, things improve. The new millennia, from Mazda.
Red hot summer and an ice cold Coke. What could be better? An ice cold Coke. And 1,000 mountain bikes. And 100 Kawasaki jet ski watercraft. And 200 Ford Mustang convertibles.
Grab a specially marked Coca-Cola product and look under the red cap. You could win your share of over $350 million worth of great stuff. Play Coca-Cola Red Hot Summer.
What could be better, dude?
Hoop It Up, the world's largest 3-on-3 basketball tournament, takes to the streets of Indianapolis with Hoosier greats Damon Bailey and Steve Alford. Hoop It Up next Saturday on NBC.
Matt, according to a report earlier from CBS Sports, the Los Angeles Clippers offered Pat Riley the head coaching job and a piece of the team. And we asked Pat about it earlier today. First he laughed, and he said, add me to the list. Incidentally, the LA Clippers are denying that report. But from Pat Riley's reaction, when I mentioned it to him, that was the first he had heard about it.
Well, I'm sure he's been preoccupied with other things the last few weeks and longer than that.
Vern Fleming and LaSalle Thompson have come on for the first time. Vern Fleming had a strong game the other night. Here's Antonio Davis, rebounded by Patrick Ewing. Rick Anthony on the floor for the first time. He replaced Derek Harper. Anthony and Starks in the backcourt. Ewing, Mason, Oakley up front. Charles Oakley. Indiana 15, New York 14 with 3.5 remaining in this opening quarter. Reggie Miller played very tightly by John Starks. Well, here's the applause. Here's LaSalle Thompson. LaSalle Thompson, who's made it back from the broken hand, has the good outside touch, but that's the first one he's hit in some time.
Oh, that's a bonus for the Pacers there. He's in there to set screens for Reggie Miller to bang people in the post, and any kind of scoring you can give him as a plus.
Pacers by 3. Ewing. Rebound Mason. Starks for 3. Yes. John Starks, who had 5 3-pointers on Friday night, has tied the game at 17. Starks got picked off, and Miller converts. Nicely executed by Indiana.
And of course, Reggie runs those screens so well, and if you do not get help from the big man guarding the screener, there's just no way that you can stop him from doing that because John Starks is trailing and steal.
Reggie Miller picked it off. Here's Fleming. Pacers lead 19-17. We come up on 2 minutes remaining in the first quarter. The call away from the ball. Thompson involved with Oakley is called for the foul.
That's been pretty much thought by everybody around the Knicks that John Starks is going to have to come up with another big game. This is his first field goal tonight. Has not had many looks. He has now got himself up to 13 for 26 in this series from beyond the arc.
And you can see how he has turned it up after the quiet time, the first 5 games of the series. Has checked in for Indiana for the first time. Starks got the step. Starks on the reverse. Rebound Ewing. And the game is tied at 19. John Starks, though, showing that little extra hop, the drive in the legs that we have not seen since the arthroscopic knee surgery.
And you could hear the roar from the crowd as he made that explosive move.
Traveling violation on Antonio Davis.
And the crowd getting all involved as John Starks. This is what they used to see before the knee injury. And just that penetration, even though he didn't make the shot, drew the defense so Ewing could clean up.
Starks for 3. Yes. The Knicks 22. The Pacers 19. Well, John Starks has this crowd going. We approach 1 minute remaining first quarter. Starks fighting through the pick and a foul. Antonio Davis lunging out as he set the screen, and he's called for his first.
Well, it's really something, Marv, when you got it going at the offensive end right now is John Starks and continues to work because you have to against Reggie Miller. Antonio Davis clearly stepping up to knock off John Starks.
Pacers continue to pressure the ball as Fleming stays with Anthony. Oakley slapped up by Ewing. LaSalle Thompson and Vern Fleming fighting for that loose ball. Mitchell for Thompson. Thompson guarded by Ewing. Miller posting up. Reggie Miller with a fadeaway. Rebounded by Sam Mitchell. And knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Knicks.
First time, I think, in this series, Marv, that we have seen Reggie in a dead post-up position. He is 6'7". He's going to be taller than most of the guards he is defended by. He probably should do it more, and he looks pretty good doing it.
Fleming gets inside. Vern Fleming, who loves playing here at Madison Square Garden. A native of New York, attended Monte Cristi High School in Queens, and he has had a very solid series off the bench. Down to 15 seconds in the quarter. 10 on the shot clock. 5 on the 24. Oakley left open. Charles Oakley with his third field goal. He has 6. Knicks by 3. Final seconds of the quarter. Mitchell drives it. Mitchell drills it, and here is Starks firing it down. That's the end of the first quarter. John Starks with 2 from downtown, 7 points Madison Square Garden. It's the New York Knicks 24 and the Indiana Pacers 23.
Even with dual airbags, power windows, air conditioning, cruise control, and a powerful 6-cylinder engine, the Mazda 626 still costs less than a 4-cylinder Camry LE. And you can take that to the bank.
I don't imagine I'll always be the only chicken place in town. I got a feeling it'll be popping up like dandelions. But I think I'll just keep on trying to make the best tasting chicken in America. Different kinds, but it takes more than good chicken to make a good meal. You need side dishes that are just as good. Families are separated now, so they need something to bring them together. And my chicken sometimes brings them together. Sometimes. If you give someone a good meal at a fair price, they'll come back to you.
Good evening, class. This is learning to program your VCR 101. Step 1, setting the clock.
You don't need an advanced degree to program your VCR. Just the one-for-all VCR Pro, the easiest to use VCR programmer that's also a universal remote. Easy because it leads you through VCR programming with step-by-step instructions. Now buy a VCR Pro and batteries and get a $10 rebate, or any select Flintstones video and any one-for-all remote and get a $3 rebate. One for all, the easiest of all.
Miller Lite presents Full Contact Golf. Yes, this summer it's not just a sport, it's a free t-shirt. The Full Contact Golf t-shirt. Just look for specially marked packages of Miller Lite at your favorite store. Find this can and win instantly. There are over 500,000 t-shirts to be won.
Cool. Hey, cool shirt.
Hey, thanks.
The Full Contact Golf t-shirt coming into full contact with you. Only from Miller Lite.
Hey, great shirt.
Great beer. Can your beer do this?
Storm back at Madison Square Garden with the Knicks leading by 1, joined by Pacers president Donnie Walsh. You brought in your good friend, your old backcourt running mate from the Tar Heels days, Larry Brown, to run this team. And you've got to be awfully gratified personally and professionally by the results this year.
It's been the most fun I've had since I've been doing this job. And this team has gone the farthest for both of us that we've ever gone. So it's been very successful.
I thought it was very interesting after the team lost Game 6. Your coaches started talking X's and O's with the team, but you made them redirect their thinking a little bit.
Well, I think we need to know that we can win this game, that we have confidence that we come out upbeat, and not to come out here tentative, and I think we've done that.
Donnie, a year ago, it was said that your job might have been in jeopardy. I know that you took a lot of criticism for the Detlef Shrimp trade. It hasn't been easy. What has the success of the team meant to you and also the city?
Well, it's been great for the franchise that the team has done as it's done. The town is excited. We're all happy for our franchise. We've done so well.
Congratulations, Donnie. Mark?
Hannah, you saw Vern Fleming call for the offensive foul the second quarter, getting underway.
This fast break all started after the soft pass by Greg Anthony, stolen at midcourt. Not a lot of fast break opportunities for either team in that first quarter, mainly because both teams taking reasonably good shots and not turning the ball over in places that normally start a running chance.
Knicks lead by 1. Here's Starks. Rebounded by Antonio Davis. Byron Scott, who's not played much the last couple of games, had his pass intercepted by Starks. 3 out here if they hurry. Anthony for Starks for 3. And the rebound controlled by Antonio Davis. Well, the Knicks again looking to run upon occasion. Very successful with that the other night. Here's Mitchell. Ewing with the rebound. And again the Knicks on the run. Starks decided to pull it up. Charles Smith is back up front with Patrick Ewing, Anthony Mason, Greg Anthony, and John Starks in the backcourt. Mason with a post-up move. The Knicks 26, the Pacers 23.
Patrick Ewing just doing a terrific job on both backboards. He had not had an offensive rebound in the last 2 games. He already has 3 in this one. And at the defensive end, challenging shots and rebounding.
Antonio Davis fouled. He was double teamed. And he'll be back at the free throw line. Mason called for the foul. And Antonio Davis will go to the line. Well, Reggie Miller had said going into game number 6, we can't go back to the Garden. If we don't get it done at home, we know it's over. I asked Larry Brown about that quote, and because Reggie was trying to get his club revved up for game number 6, hoping to clinch it and advance to the NBA final, and Larry and Reggie kind of pulled back a bit. And Reggie said he actually didn't mean what he said.
He said that at the beginning of the series when he said, we want New York. He said, don't take it the wrong way. We just want to play the best team. So Reggie always has these open-ended statements that you can get out of.
Well, it has certainly been a magical season for the Indiana Pacers, trying to advance to the NBA Finals for the first time in the history of the franchise. Last time the Knicks went to the Finals, 1974. And they were beaten by the Los Angeles Lakers off the foot of Sam Mitchell. Knicks last won an NBA title in '73. The Indiana Pacers won the ABA championship in 1973, knocking off the Kentucky Colonels. Knicks lead 26-24, 2 minutes in. Second quarter. Anthony for 3. Ewing with the rebound. It is a different story on the offensive boards for Patrick Ewing here in the first half.
I'm sure viewing the videotape of the last 2 games and the coaching staff of the Knicks pointing out to Patrick, you've got to get on the boards. He has been active.
Knicks by 4. Ewing and Smits both go down. And the foul is called on Smits.
Patrick Ewing fronting Rick Smits, trying to keep the ball from going in his hands. Both centers working extremely hard. And Rick Smits just whipping Patrick Ewing to the floor.
Second foul called on Smits. Timeout taken by the Pacers.
Houston battles the champions of the East. The finals start Wednesday night on NBC.
Is it possible for a car to have increased horsepower and increased fuel efficiency? Is it possible for a car to be agile yet ride remarkably smooth? And is it possible for a car to be luxurious and still be affordable? It's not only possible, it's here. The new Maxima, starting under $20,000.
We're a part of the future. We're the heart and the soul. You're a part of me. That's the heart of me. Without you, I'm just a lonely melody. But together we are harmony. Dr. Pepper, you're a part of me.
There's a place near you where the mountain climbers never touch the ground, where the bodies are made of iron and the bikes of titanium alloy. It's Performance Bicycle Shop with over 6,000 square feet of high-tech cycling gear. But if you go, bring a stump-jumping spirit and your Visa card. Because at Performance, they take cycling to the extreme, but they don't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered. By Visa, it's everywhere you want to be. And by Nissan, it's time to expect more from a car.
Welcome back to the Garden. Here's the report on Rick Smits. Apparently he has a jammed pinky finger in his right hand, but he should be okay to come back in this game and play. Marv?
And apparently Rick hurt himself when he went down in that collision with Patrick Ewing and picked up his second foul. So Smits sitting it out right here. Dale Davis is back. Antonio Davis guarding Patrick Ewing. Was able to get inside but could not score. Carl Smith with another Knick offensive rebound. Gilbert Davis with his first attack. The Knicks Knicks have outscored the Pacers 13-2, and that has been the story in this first half. Knicks lead by 6. Byron Scott on a quick release. He thought he was fouled.
Well, he was. Hubert Davis was hanging on to the shirt, actually pulled it out of the pants of Byron Scott. Last set play, the Knicks used Charles Smith to enter the ball to Ewing, the taller player. Better to throw the lob pass in front of him.
And a foul on Ewing. Illegal pick called. Patrick Ewing with his first.
This was the play. Charles Smith had entered the ball to Patrick Ewing, got the double team. They left Hubert Davis all alone at the top of the key, and he is feeling in good shape about that, as he has struggled offensively and defensively at various times throughout this series.
And the matchup is Davis against Scott. Davis following him around. Scott working off the pick. Getting it to McKee. Derek McKee with his first bucket. The Knicks 30 and the Pacers 28. Marv Albert, Matt Gukas, and Ahmad Rashad along with Hannah Storm from Madison Square Garden. 7th and decisive game in the Eastern Conference Finals. Oakley with a rushed shot, and he came up short. And Dale Davis beat Charles Oakley down 4.
And the felony compounded not only the bad shot and a bad executed pick and roll play, but Charles Oakley putting his head down, which he rarely does, and getting upset with himself. Didn't get back on defense, gave Dale Davis an easy deuce.
6 straight points for the Pacers. Game tied at 30. Hubert Davis now feeling it. His second field goal, Knicks by 2. 4.5 gone by in the second. Fleming couldn't find anyone. Anthony doing a nice job defensively. Scott beating Davis. Byron Scott doing it off the dribble, and he's tied the game at 32.
When these two teams get stagnant offensively, it's because the ball stays on one side of the floor. Anytime you can get a ball reversal, it usually results in a good shot.
Mason, whether Oakley diving at it, knocked it away. Last touch by McKee.
That dive by Oakley is one of those hustle plays that the Knicks and Pat Riley talk about all the time. It saves a possession, gives New York another chance, and Charles Oakley leads New York in that category by a wide margin.
And the Knicks, as you see, doing it off the offensive boards. Already 10 rebounds on the offensive end after struggling the 2 previous games. Davis finding Smith. He lost it. Shot clock at 5. Smith checking it, and that is blocked. And a foul is called on the funnel by Oakley. 6:39 remaining. First half, the game tied at 32.
There's something happening here. What it is ain't exactly clear. I think it's time to stop, children. What's that sound? Everybody look what's going down.
Get out of the old and get into the cold. Is it possible for a car to have increased horsepower and increased fuel efficiency? Is it possible for a car to be agile yet ride remarkably smooth? And is it possible for a car to be luxurious and still be affordable? It's not only possible, it's here. The new Maxima, starting under $20,000.
It is said he is to computer software what Thomas Edison is to the light bulb. The software Bill Gates developed runs 2/3 of the computers in the world. And on the day he turned 36, his company, Microsoft, was bigger than Xerox, Kodak, and McDonald's. Where in today's world do you find companies capable of such astonishing growth? Actually, there's a list of them printed every day. NASDAQ, the stock market for the next 100 years.
Free will. Here's Weber in the open court going all the way. Oh, brother. What a move by Weber. And the Sixers take over on the turnover. Julius. Oh.
82-80. Tries a long, wild hook shot. Good.
And here
from the bricks on the break. Horace Credit over to Raheem Olajuwon, who throws up a prayer. I love this game.
Celebrate the victory. Be part of a global television event live from Normandy. Brokaw, Curragh, Gumbel. D-Day plus 50. Tomorrow on Today.
Well, among those on hand here, Bill Murray, who's getting the treatment from the crowd. Fans know he's a Chicago Bulls fan, and they greet him. John Lovitz and Maury Povich, Woody Allen. Georgetown coach John Thompson has been a regular, as has Spike Lee, who obviously is bored with the proceedings at this particular moment. Spike coming off the eventful Game 5 here at the Garden, getting involved with Reggie Miller, then made the trip to Indianapolis, but was very low-key Friday night at Market Square.
It's been well established that the Knicks have a tendency to play, well, not so pretty basketball, and it has not been pretty a lot with their half-court offense. But the one thing that's keeping them right in this ball game is those hustle plays, diving for the loose balls, getting second chances. They already have 11 offensive rebounds, as Rick Smith's getting his hand and finger tended to by their trainer, David Craig. And Hannah Storm, during that last time out, telling us Larry Brown really wants to get his guards back in there to help out in the rebounding. It's not just on the front line play.
The Knicks lead by 2. Indiana shooting well in the first half. 14 of 21. They've hit their last 4 shots. 6.5 remaining in the half. Haywood Workman is back. And Byron Scott at the guards. LaSalle Thompson up front with Eric McKee and Dale Davis. Thompson try to recapture. Scott playing the ricochet and hits a spectacular three-pointer by Byron Scott off the recovery.
Another well-executed play by the Indiana Pacers as they stumbled and fumbled and kicked the thing all over the place and get a wide-open look for Byron Scott.
And he is 3 for 3, 7 points in all. Foul was called on Scott, who agreed with Jake O'Donnell.
Well, LaSalle Thompson lost the handle on it, but just got enough of a hand on it to keep it alive and kick it to the corner. Not kick it, but push it to the corner for Byron Scott to get an open three-point shot. This is probably the only way that the Pacers can get open right now is fumble the ball. The Knicks are playing very aggressive defense.
Pacers have hit their last 5 shots. Davis gets inside. The tip was missed. And back comes McKee. Looking at Scott on the wing. And here's Scott eluding Davis and draws the foul. And Hubert Davis having a very difficult time with the veteran of 3 Los Angeles Lakers championship teams under that man, Pat Riley, Byron Scott. Byron suffered the bruised hip back in Game 3 in a collision with Charles Oakley. His playing time has been affected recently, but he has come out firing here in game number 7. And it looks like a new backcourt about to step on for the Knicks. Derek Harper and John Starks coming on.
Well, Byron did not play at all in the second half of Game 6 after an ineffective first half. And Vern Fleming, who played very well at the point guard position during the first half, got those minutes as the shooting guard. And, of course, it didn't work out. Byron was asked what was going on, what was the problem. Was he injured? He just said, coach's decision. He's a veteran. He's been around a long time. He knows the right answer.
33-year-old Byron Scott. Indiana Pacer president Donnie Walsh says he is a very young 33. Pacers lead 37-34. 5.5 to go. First half. And pass from Ewing, recovered by Mason, then he lost it. McKee going behind the back. Byron Scott has scored Indiana's last 7 points. McKee and Mason got a piece of it. The Pacers on fire in the second quarter. They've hit their last 6 shots for 70% shooting for the game. And they're up now 39-34. Indiana's in 16 of 23 from the field. Derek McKee with his second field goal. He has 4 points. He's opened up a 5-point Pacer lead in the Knicks call for a 20-second timeout. 7th and final game with the winner going on to meet the Houston Rockets. Quick recap, the Knicks taking games 1 and 2 here at Madison Square Garden, led by the combination of Charles Oakley and Patrick Ewing. Then on to Market Square in Indianapolis. The Knicks with a playoff record low 68 points in Game 3. Last Monday afternoon, Pacers won at 83-77. Reggie Miller with the 31 points. Did it for the most part at the foul line. And then the Pacers able to take Game 5 here at the Garden, led by Miller with that extraordinary performance in the fourth quarter. Game 6 at Indianapolis on Friday night. The Knicks went into the fourth quarter with a sizable lead, and it looked to be the same scenario as Game 5, but despite the many turnovers and the good run by the Pacers, the Knicks were able to pull it out. Nice move by Starks as he hits on the reverse to bring the Knicks within 3 points.
Well, for some reason, Byron Scott stood straight up defensively. He thought he had some help on the baseline, and John Starks able to get the little reverse.
Now Scott guarded by Starks. And Thompson off a double team called for a traveling violation.
Well, LaSalle is having his problems handling the basketball right now, as Charles Oakley putting pressure on and knocking it loose. The reason Thompson in the ballgame right now is that Rick Smith's having a problem with his hand.
10th turnover for Indiana. Knicks with 9. Starks eluding Thompson, finding Oakley. Ewing missed the tip. Ewing on the follow. Indiana leads by 1. 4:15 remaining. First half. Whoa. Derek Crawford got picked off at midcourt by LaSalle Thompson. Dale Davis. Got to go glass. Came up short. Starks had a 3-on-2. Indiana with a good hustle to get back to break up the fast break possibility. Hopper for 3. And back come the Pacers. Workman pushes it down. Sets up Scott. Scott eluding Starks. Oh, Byron Scott once again able to drill it. He is 4 for 4. He has 11 points. And the Pacers have a 3-point lead. Ewing not able to handle the pass. Scott looking for the shot. Goes for the drive. Byron Scott again. Byron Scott with a sensational second quarter. Matty's pulling a Reggie Miller here in the second. And the Pacers now lead by 5. Scott with 13 points. Starks way off. Ewing with the rebound. And the Knicks look to regroup. Just under 3 minutes remaining in the half. Starks for 3. John Starks from downtown. That's his 3rd three-pointer. The Pacers 43 and the Knicks 41. Larry Brown calling for time.
Well, Byron Scott's got it going on right now. He feels it. He sees John Starks running in a little ball fake. Everything leaving his hand looks good. And then the drive to the basket, able to get the little shooter's touch. His good play has kept Reggie Miller on the bench.
First person I ever dunked on was LeJuan Pounds, Detroit, Michigan. And he used to talk about my mother, talk about my shoes, my shorts. I dunked on him, and I was like, there, nah, there you go, nah. And by that time, they went down to score the layup, but that's all I remember from that game, dunking on him. Because he was an older kid, man, he used to talk about me, try to dog me, but I wonder where he is now, man. Because I want to just say, you know, I dunked on him. Yeah.
Bragging in the bar.
Bragging, he dunked on me.
One of the ways Ryder makes your move easier is by having a 24-hour number so you can call us with any questions that come up along the way.
Does Route 60 run through Phoenix?
Ryder, we're there when you need us.
Something big is happening at McDonald's. It's the big taste of the unique McRib sandwich, smothered in tangy barbecue sauce with slivered onions, served hot and fresh on its own special roll. You'll go for it in a big way.
After years on the road, some small cars find themselves in a tight spot. But of all the small cars built in the past 12 years, more Escorts are still on the road than any other. And when you realize Ford Escort is a better small car value than its leading competition and offers 4 models for the same low price, it's easy to see how the competition stacks up. Ford Escort.
League MVP Akeem Olajuwon of the Rockets blasted past the Jazz, capturing the Western Conference Championship and soaring into the finals for the first time since '86. Now they'll battle the champions of the East in a primetime showdown. The NBA Finals are ready for liftoff. Game 1 Wednesday night in primetime at 9 Eastern on NBC.
Bob Costas back in the studio after rushing over from the Garden. Coming up on the Prudential Halftime Report, we'll speak live with Senator Bill Bradley, the former Knick great who played in 5 of these Game 7s during his days with the Knicks. 4 of them were played at Madison Square Garden, as it happens. And we'll hear from the insiders, Julius Erving, Peter Bassi, and Bill Walton, for their thoughts on the first half of the Knicks and Pacers. Indiana leads it 43-41 as we go back to the Garden to rejoin Marv Albert and Matt Gugas. Marv.
Thank you, Bob. 2:47 remaining first half. And the Pacers with a 43-41 lead on the Knicks. Byron Scott looking a bit weary, even though he may be the youngest 33-year-old that Donnie Walsh has ever seen. But what a performance by Byron Scott in the second quarter. 13 points in the second. Ahmad Rashad is right next to the Knick bench. Let's go to Ahmad.
All right, Mark, during that last time out, Pat Riley very much concerned with trying to get Patrick Ewing the ball in deep. He hasn't been able to get the ball in deep, so he wants him to come off the pick a little bit wider with a bigger flare to try to get him the ball maybe a little bit further from the basket, but at least a chance to shoot. Marv?
All right, Ahmad, the Knicks were having success getting the ball to Patrick Ewing in the early going, but Indiana adjusted well. Here's Miller for 3. Reggie Miller from downtown. He now has 9 points, and the Pacers lead by 5 off the devastating shooting combination here in the second of Reggie Miller and Byron Scott. Offensive foul. It's on Ewing. That is his second.
Well, Reggie Miller setting up here after one of the rare offensive rebounds by the Indiana Pacers. The Knicks have had the best of it in that department, but a lot of times, in the case of John Starks, as Tick Harder extremely upset, but that's how a shooter like Reggie can get open. After that offensive rebound, you tend to relax, or after the shot is taken, and that's when a shooter can get open.
Biggest lead of the game, Indiana by 5. Nice pick and roll. Antonio Davis had it knocked away. Last touched by Ewing. 12 on the 24. Minute 56 to go in this first half. And McKee will throw in. McKee up front now with Thompson and Antonio Davis. Miller and Fleming at the guard. Miller beats Starks but lost the ball. Couldn't get to it. Starks protecting the dribble. Starks accelerates. Starks pops it out to Ewing. Harper is open. Yes. Indiana by 3. Miller tries to break down. Harper back. Miller not able to hit. He caught the Knicks on the transition but could not convert. Smith wide open. Good look from Oakland. And the foul call.
Miller on this breakaway layup. An excellent defensive play here by Harper just to get in the path of Miller to make him change his direction and miss. And under pressure, John Starks finds Oakley, who finds Charles Smith with a very strong finish. Unusual to get a fast break after a missed layup because Reggie was so far ahead of the pack. There were 4 blue shirts back, but they tried to trap Starks in the corner.
Antonio Davis called for the foul. Charles Smith with a 3-point play has tied the game at 46. 1:20 to go, first half. And that whistle away from the ball. Charles Smith with his 3rd.
Well, Reggie Miller trying to set that little screen here for Charles Smith to get Dirk McKee coming out to the right side of the floor, and Charles getting his elbow up high.
Anthony Mason replacing Charles Smith. 5 straight points by the Knicks to tie the game at 46. For the Knicks, their 100th game of the season. 82 regular season. This is their 18th playoff game. Indiana Pacers in game number 98, their 16th playoff game. Miller for 3. Reggie Miller with his second 3-pointer. And he's hot. 4 or 5 from the field. 12 points. Pacers 49. the Knicks 46. The Indiana backcourt has killed the Knicks here in the first half. 13 for Byron Scott, 12 for Reggie Miller. Hopper on the drive, and a foul called up high.
Well, Derek McKee has been very active at the offensive end for the Pacers in handling the basketball. He delivered this one to Reggie Miller, who really did not have that good a look, was not that open, as John Starks was in his face challenging that shot, but Reggie does not need a lot of room.
Foul on Fleming, sending Harper to the line. Indiana in this first half, 20 out of 30 from the field, 67% shooting, while the Knicks at 19 for 42 at 45%. Sam Mitchell replacing Antonio Davis. Derek Harper continues to have his problems at the foul line.
7 for 17 in the series coming into this ball game, so make it 7 for 18. And again, we talked about this early in the series, that Pat Riley would have a concern of having Derek in the game late. However, had he not been in the game in the last 2 minutes of Game 6, I don't know if the Knicks would be playing tonight, because he made 2 tremendous plays. The jumper with 1:50 to go to give the Knicks the 3-point lead, and then a great strip on Vern Fleming defensively.
It has been a close first half throughout. Biggest lead for either club, a margin of 5 by the Pacers. Indiana by 2. 35 seconds left in the half. Starks hand-checking Miller, able to work free, and on the pick, a foul is called. Foul.
John Starks bumping into the brick wall, LaSalle Thompson, and he is going to shake the shoulder and the chin and the head bob back. But then the way he popped up, there was no way he could be hurt on the play. He looked like he got killed.
Down to 20 seconds to go in the half. Shot clock. Traveling violation on Mason. And it will be Indiana ball with 9 3/10 seconds remaining, but first a 20-second timeout being taken by Larry Brown. Well, the winner here tonight will move on to face the Western Conference champion Houston Rockets. It will be either the Indiana Pacers or the New York Knicks in Game 1 of the best of 7 NBA Final Wednesday night, starting at 9 o'clock right here on NBC Sports. That'll be 6 p.m. out on the West Coast. Houston Rockets with a long rest period after wrapping up their series against the Utah Jazz.
Had a little training camp down in Galveston, Texas. They have come back from that. I'm sure they are back in Houston now watching this. Rudy Tomjanovich, Carl Dawson, Bill Berry, Joe Ash, the Houston scout, has been at these ball games. And of course, all the Houston Rockets, I am sure, cannot wait to get this thing started. And as we sit here right now, they have no idea who they're going to play. It's tough to prepare.
Greg Anthony is back. Indiana ball. As this first half winds down, Bob Costas and the Prudential halftime report just ahead. Miller stepping back, looking for the shot, able to swing away to gold glass. What a move by Reggie Miller as time has run out. The Pacers with a 51-47 lead at halftime off a remarkable shooting first half for Indiana.
And Starks has Miller all locked up in this particular situation, but the long stride and step of Reggie Miller able to duck in and get the bucket.
Byron Scott off the bench to hit 5 of 5, all in the second quarter, 13 points, and Reggie Miller with another good one, 5 of 7 for 14. Indiana 21 of 31, 68% shooting in the first half.
Are the players. These are the stories. These are the moments. These are the memories. NBA stories live at the finals next Sunday on NBC.
We are set for the 7th and final game of this Eastern Conference Finals Series. A series tied at 3. Before we get underway, let's check in with Ahmad.
All right, thanks, Marv. I just talked with Charles Oakley. He told me that during the halftime, Pat Riley only talked about defense, even though that the Pacers were shooting almost 68%. He wants them to get up in the shooter's face and don't give him any good looks. Marv?
Pacers by 4. Reggie Miller scoring the last 8 points of the second quarter for the Pacers. The NBA record for best percentage shooting in a playoff game, 67%. Celtics did it against the Knicks back in April of 1990. Indiana, 68% in the first half. Ewing getting it inside, and he is fouled.
Well, Patrick waiting and waiting to see when and if the double team was going to come. Finally, Derek McKee got there, but Patrick was already into his offensive move and in a little bit of trouble, but able to draw contact, and that's all he could do at that particular point. Patrick Ewing having an outstanding first half, scoring and rebounding, as he had 6 offensive rebounds, 11 overall.
However, 1 of 3 from the foul line. On the line off the foul by Derek McKee. High-point men for the Knicks. John Starks with 12. Patrick Ewing with 11. Indiana led by Reggie Miller, 14 points on 5 of 7 shooting. Byron Scott, 5 out of 5. 13 points in all. Indiana by 3. Phantom defense from the crowd. Workman and Miller at the guard. Smits is back despite the jammed finger. McKee and Dale Davis also on the front line. Smits changed his mind. Recovered by McKee. A little play by Derek McKee, who now has 6 points. Pacers lead 53-48. Smith got the step and then rejected. The Knicks maintain possession. They'll have 13 on the 24.
That's going to be interesting to watch Reggie Miller and John Starks in this second half. Reggie already lost John on that play.
Starks lost the dribble. Recovered by Ewing. Here's Starks. Oakley on the save. Hopper going left, setting up Ewing.
And just nicked from behind by Dale Davis to force Patrick to miss that shot. A good penetration by Harper.
Foul committed by Starks. His second.
Now this is what Larry Brown was talking about to Hannah Storm at halftime, concerned about the penetration of the Knick guards. Derek Harper getting inside. That forces all the defense to come to him and leaves those little openings, but Patrick Ewing couldn't finish the playoff.
Miller 3 for 3 from the line. Remember, prior to this past Wednesday night here at the Garden, the Knicks had beaten the Pacers 11 in a row, 31 of the last 33 going back to January of 1983, and then Indiana coming up with the win off that fourth quarter rally that was sparked by Reggie Miller, and a very impressive performance by the Pacers here this evening. They now lead by 7. A minute and a half gone by in the third. This is the biggest lead of the game. Starks could not find anyone. Excellent defensive play again by Indiana. Ewing forcing, and it's rebounded by Dale Davis.
Good defense, Mark, but too difficult a play to get into against that tough clawing type of defense. The Knicks have to get down, get the ball below the free throw line in short order to start executing.
Smits with the jump hook. Oakley with the rebound. Starks going at Miller. Oakley with the save. Starks got a piece of it. Oakley again able to save, but the Pacers are on it. Here's Miller for 3. On the back tap, McKee finds Workman. Smits with the open shot. Rick Smits with 6 points, and Pat Riley calls for a timeout. 9:37 remaining in the this third quarter, and the Pacers now lead 57-48. Biggest lead of the night for Indiana.
Well, no surprise that Charles Oakley and John Stark scrapping and scrambling for loose balls, but when they hit the deck, opening up a fast break opportunity for Indiana and a wide open three for Reggie Miller, the first three-pointer missed by the Pacers tonight. And then the second offensive rebound already in the third quarter for Indiana. That's the area they were getting killed in the first half by New York. Both teams want their point guards to put as much pressure on each other, but also prevent penetration. Tall order for both ball clubs.
And this capacity crowd encouraging the New York Knicks. The winner here advancing to face the Houston Rockets in the NBA Final, opening at the Summit in Houston on Wednesday. Harper got the step. I think he surprised himself that he got that deep. Rebounded by Smith. The Knicks 0 for 5 here in the third. McKee on a hesitation move, able to hit over Ewing. And the Pacers now lead 59-48. An 8-0 run by the Pacers. Try to penetrate, cannot hit. Now Starks finds Ewing. Lost it. Miller against the backpedaling Harper. Crowd wanted to travel. Wild end-to-end basketball now.
And there must be some kind of foreign element on that ball right now. Patrick Ewing can't hold it. Reggie Miller has problems as well.
Charles Smith able to spin in to cut it to a 9-point Pacer advantage. Harper does not like the hand checking from Harper. McKee had good position. Harper for three. Yes. That's a big shot by Derek Harper.
I'm surprised he had the legs to be able to get that shot up. He looks very tired right now as he's bumping and bouncing with Hayward working. And they're having words as they play.
Harper and Workman have had words before during the regular season. McKee and a blocking foul, offensive foul called on the Knicks.
Well, Derek Harper has been trying to create things off penetration, get into the lane and score himself or dish off. This time, for whatever reason, just launched a three. Really not the kind of shot that the Knicks are looking for. Lucky to get that one down as Harper continues to hand check, almost like two boxers just poking away at each other. And Hayward Workman taking exception.
Foul was called on Ewing, his third. Ewing fronting Spence. Jake O'Donnell with the call. Again, it's against the Knicks. It's on Charles Smith. That is his fourth. Byron Scott now checking in, replacing Reggie Miller. Anthony Mason will come on for Charles Smith. 4 on Smith, who is 2 of 3 from the field. Reggie Miller getting a rest. 16 points for Reggie Miller. McKee's pass broken up by Mason. Mason trying to suffocate McKee. Smith. It's a bit further than his usual wing. Oakley with the rebound.
Well, Derek McKee has been trying it in. He had 6 assists in that first game. Much better defense by Mason on McKee than Charles Smith was playing.
And a reach in. Called on McKee. Indiana with their second team foul. Knicks with 3. We have played 5 minutes of the third quarter. The Pacer lead is 6. Every shot being fiercely contested at this point. Scott all over Starks. Harper for 3. And a loose ball foul on Oakley, who just shoved McKee. Oakley with the shove of McKee. McKee. Not a smart play by Charles Oakley.
And Charles Smith going for every loose ball, going for every offensive rebound. And here is McKee struggling to try to regain possession along the baseline. The extra little shove by Charles Oakley.
NBC News, now more than ever.
First, there was the movie. And now, there's the card game. The Maverick high-stakes card game. At Quality, Comfort, Clarion, and Sleep Hotels.
You like playing cards? Oh, passionately.
Just get your lucky Maverick playing card.
Pick a card, man?
At any participating hotel, because in this card game, every card's a winner.
4 checks, read them and weep.
That definitely has potential. You could win one of over 6 million prizes, including 6 GMC Sonomas. Or you could win the grand prize of $1 million.
Gamoni.
The jackpot's big, the stakes are high. Are you ready to play? Call 1-800-4CHOICE to reserve a room where every card's a winner.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft. Get out of the old, get into the cold. By the Prudential. Peace of mind, it comes with every piece of the rock. And by Chevrolet. One car company has won more NASCAR races over the last 10 years. Genuine Chevrolet.
Earlier we touched on the subject of Larry Brown's superstitious ways. Well, Larry and his staff went to the same restaurant last night as they did prior to Game 5. They beat the Knicks here in Game 5 and ordered the same food. Said it didn't taste it then, didn't taste it last night. We talked with Larry about his superstitions.
I've done a lot of weird things. The only thing, it's a little different than in college. I used to get a new tie for each game in college. If we lost, I'd never wear it again. And it's gotten a little expensive in the pros. And also clothes, you know, I'd change suits or sport coats if we lost. But, you know, I'm a little toned down there. But basically, I would consider myself slightly nuttier than Reggie Miller.
Slightly nuttier than Reggie Miller. He means that in affectionate fashion, I'm sure. And Larry feeling good about that jump shot by Rick Spitz, giving his Pacers an 8-point lead. 6:10 remaining in the third. Off the double team, Oakley fouled as both Dale Davis and Derek McKee surrounded him. McKee called for that foul, his third. Let's go to Ahmad Rashad. Ahmad?
All right, Marv, during that last timeout, Pat Riley telling his team to put the ball on the floor strong, try to play through the arms. And one thing that he warned his team about was do not let Byron Scott get off, which had to be strange for even Pat to say, saying that Pat coached Byron for all those many years. Marv?
Well, Byron Scott, look out. Hopper able to save. Byron Scott hit 5 of 5, 13 points in all. In the second quarter, has not attempted a shot in his short stint here in the third. Starks with a hard driving move, and he's fouled. Well, Mike Malthus was going to call it against Indiana, but Jake O'Donnell, who was trailing the play, says no, the other way. It's on Starks.
Well, Jake has a good look at it on the right baseline as Starks able to get by Davis and draw contact as Pat Riley was telling his players get to the basket, but Rick Spitz standing tall, taking the charge.
3 apiece on Starks, Ewing, and Mason. McKee has 3 for Indiana. Scott getting it off, and a foul is called. That is number 4 on Starks.
And once again, John Starks paying attention to Pat Riley, keeping a a close eye on Scott, who was 5 for 5 from the field in the first half. Pat certainly can recognize when Byron has that stroke going, which he certainly did in the first half. Reggie Miller ready to check back in. He came out relatively early in the third period in favor of Scott, I think, for a couple of reasons. Larry Brown wanted to see if Byron still had the hot hand, and I think he wants to jockey back and forth with these two to keep at least Reggie Miller fresh for the stretch run.
And Hubert Davis, who had problems once again defensively going up against Byron Scott, has replaced John Starks. Hubert did hit a couple of shots, though. He was 2 for 3 in the first half. Byron Scott signed with the Pacers as a free agent last December. Said he got a call recently from his one-time Laker teammate, Magic Johnson, who said he couldn't believe that Byron could win himself another championship ring at this stage of his life. Here's Oakley. And the Knicks shooting has been very poor in the third quarter.
Well, Magic Johnson just wanted to give a message and a congratulatory remark to Byron, saying keep that team together. He likes what they're doing. And I think also Magic a little concerned that Byron might catch up in the World Championship ring department. Magic has already run out of one hand.
The Knicks only 2 of 10 from the field here in the third. They're trailing by 10 points. And McKee's pass went astray. So the Knicks will get it back. 5 minutes, 8 seconds to go. In the third, Marv Albert, Matt Dukas, Ahmad Rashad, and Hannah Storm from Madison Square Garden in New York. 7th and decisive game of this Eastern Conference Final. And a foul is called. It's on Rick Smith, his third.
And he is getting rooted out of there by Rick Smith. Way too much contact. Not so much with the knees and the legs, which you're definitely not allowed to do, but just pushing with 2 arms. And then Patrick Ewing with a little note of coaching to Hubert Davis. Wait till I set the screen to free you up so you can catch it in good position so you can throw it to me. Hubert moving too quickly.
Smith sitting down, replaced by Antonio Davis, who is fronting Patrick Ewing. Davis has done a good job against Ewing. Now Mason gets down low. Mason to the fadeaway. And a loose ball foul is called against the Knicks. It's on Ewing. That is his 4th. And the Knicks are over the limit. That's their 15th foul.
But this is what Patrick Ewing had not been doing in the other games, and you certainly don't want to pick up a kind of a cheap foul there. But a lot of times when Patrick didn't get the ball or had it and threw it out against double teams, he'd stop and watch. This whole ball game, he has been climbing the offensive glass. This time he climbed on the back of Antonio Davis.
And the Knicks have major problems in that department. 4 apiece on Ewing, Starks, and Smith. Rick Smits returns. Well, Larry Brown sending Smits back in, hoping to pick up yet another foul on Ewing if he remains on the floor, or if the Knicks make a change, looking for the mismatch against Herb Williams. Right now, Pat Riley is gambling, staying with Ewing with the 4 fouls.
Well, if you'll remember, in Game 3, Patrick picked up his 4th early in that third quarter and went to the bench, and the Knicks totally lost control of that ball game. It is a gamble at this point, but Patrick is going to have to be very smart at both ends of the floor and not pick up a cheap one.
Biggest lead of the game, 12-point margin for the Pacers. Here's Ewing. Rebounded by Smits. We come up on 4 minutes to go in the third. Rejected by Patrick Ewing, and a reach-in foul called on the Pacers as Harper was hit. Smits picks up his 4th.
And Patrick Ewing continues to be aggressive with those 4 fouls. Does not go for the foot fake or shot fake of Antonio Davis, but consciously goes straight up in the air, should not pick up any contact or foul, and gets away with a good block.
Harper, 1 of 2 from the line. Smith sitting down. Now LaSalle Thompson checks in. LaSalle Thompson played 10 minutes in the first half. Nick off offense here in the third quarter has been limited. A break for the Knicks as Charles Oakley tipped it to get a three-point play, and the Knicks are now down by 9. Miller played by Hopper. Workman being guarded by Davis. And the foul is called. Hold on Hopper. That is his first. Both clubs are over the limit. So the Pacers are headed to the line.
And throughout this series, Pat Riley has not felt comfortable with Hubert Davis chasing Reggie Miller. So he'll put Derek Harper or Greg Anthony, whoever the point guard is, on the floor to guard Reggie because of the quickness factor, because you have to chase him around so many screens. They don't feel Hubert Davis is good enough to do it. Of course, John Starks sits on the Knicks bench with 4 personal fouls.
Reggie Miller is now 5 for 5 from the line. He has had another excellent game. Of course, when Reggie has had the big numbers, he has turned it up in the fourth quarter. We still have 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go in the third. Indiana leads by 11. Hopper met on a double team. Frees up Ewing, who finds Oakley. Pacers 67. The Knicks 58.
Patrick's been sharp all night long on seeing that double team and finding the cutters and finding the spot-ups.
Miller with the runner. Ewing with the box out. Oakley from Ewing. On the back tap, played by Davis. Davis shooting. Rebound Mason. Mason again. A second and third effort by Anthony Mason. And Mike Mathis blowing the whistle. A timeout was called. Pacers were trying to get the attention of the officials, and the timeout was officially called.
Well, nothing very pretty, just relentless offensive board work by the whole front line of the Knicks as Ewing, Oakley pounding in there, and Anthony Mason finishing off the play.
Guess who just got back today? Them wild-eyed boys. This is the place. Told them you were living downtown, driving all the old men crazy. There they are.
Cold filtered Miller Genuine Draft. The cold one. So get out of the old and get into the cold.
History teaches primordial perspiration shouldn't mess with one's style. Consider this powerful discovery. New Bright Guard Pure Power Clear Gel. An astoundingly clear gel. Thus, it goes on clear without any flaky white stuff, protecting one powerfully. For when it comes to protection, one shouldn't mess around. New Bright Guard Clear Gel. Anything less would be uncivilized.
The all-new Galant brings thoughtful details to every corner of its cabin.
These are a few of my favorite things.
Twin cup holders for driver and passenger. Extra storage under the armrest. A rear seat that folds down.
Brown paper packages tied up with
Even the trunk has a trunk in the all-new Galant.
favorite things.
From Mitsubishi, the new thinking in automobiles.
Blown Away, rated R. Starts Friday, July 1st at theaters everywhere.
John Elway, Dan Quayle, and over 60 golfing celebrities tee off when Michael Jordan hosts his RMCC Celebrity Golf Classic next weekend on NBC.
Back at Madison Square Garden, 3 minutes remaining in the third. And this crowd turned on by the offense defensive rebounding efforts of Anthony Mason just a moment ago. The Pacer lead is now 7. As Vern Fleming comes out of the backcourt, Fleming checking back in. Fleming and Miller now at the guards. McKee, Antonio Davis, and Dale Davis up front. Here's Miller penetrating, and it's rebounded by Oakley. Hopper on the run, feeding Mason. Oh, good hands by Mason, but could not put it down. It was a tough pass to handle. And back come the Pacers. Antonio Davis called for a charge. He was hoping to collect number 5 on Patrick Ewing.
Well, no doubt about this one. Antonio Davis aware of the situation, no question about it, but too easy to call for the officials here as Patrick stood his ground and took it hard from Antonio Davis. One more time.
Third foul committed by Antonio Davis. Mason set up by Davis. Ewing on the follow. Wilbert Davis with a nice lead, and the Knicks have cut it to a 5-point Indiana lead. We come up on 2 minutes remaining in the third, a 9-2 run by the Knicks. Fleming going behind the back to set it up. Recovered by Antonio Davis. Last touch by Mason.
Well, Derek McKee, who was very sharp with his passing in the first half, has thrown a couple of flippers in this one, and surprising his teammates, the Pacers get away with a second opportunity here.
And the Pacers shooting has cooled off. 4 of 14 from the field here in the third. Hopper was called for the push. That inbounds pass intended for Miller. So Hopper called for his second.
Well, Derek trying to chase Reggie Miller off this screen, but grabbing and holding as Derek often does. Pat Riley talking to his team at that last timeout about it. Rashad overheard that, warning his guards not to foul shooters on the perimeter. If you'll remember a few games back when Derek Harper was hitting Reggie Miller on those long jump shots, cost him the game. But that's just as bad there, trying to grab a guy coming off the screens. The officials are aware of how Derek Harper hand checks on defense. He can't make it that easy a call for the referees.
Pacers have done a good job at the line here tonight. They're 15 of 19. And Miller is 8 for 8. Indiana 69. New York 62. Hopper fouled by Fleming. Both teams have been over the limit for some time. And now Hopper will head back to the line. That's 3 on Fleming.
Play there by Derek Harper. Not real pleased with that last call as he grabbed Reggie Miller before the ball was inbounded. I think that time trying to see if he couldn't get a call coming back his way as he dropped his head, shoulders, and just barreled into Vern Fleming, and he winds up on the free throw line.
Hopper now 3 of 5 at the line. Sam Mitchell replacing Derek McKee. McKee leads with 8 points.
Brown over there. A rare, quiet moment here at Madison Square Garden making the call. It was either 32 or 42. You hear the 2 at the end of that. It's something for Reggie Miller.
Oh, Matt stealing some signs here from the center field seats.
Heard that one.
Pacers by 5. Minute 35 left in the third. Antonio Davis not able to hit. Oakley with the save. Ewing on it, couldn't handle it. Mason does, taken down, and Hopper comes away with it. Wild finish to the third quarter. Fleming guarding Ewing on a switch, then got help. Ewing facing a triple team. Shot clock at 3. Davis, the tip by Ewing again. And a foul is called. No, a jump ball is called. Jake O'Donnell, again right on the scene, making the call of jump it up.
On a kick out by Ewing to Hubert Davis, and penetration by Hubert actually gave Ewing a couple of tips. He may have gone over the top, but Hubert getting back in there for another offensive rebound for New York. They have been fierce on the glass.
Davis giving away 3-4 inches to Miller. The officials checking with each other. Last touched by the Knicks.
E6 on Patrick Ewing as it went right between the wickets.
Well, the one major flaw in his game, Patrick Ewing, very small hands. And you can see the problems he has in handling the ball or losing the ball when he has to handle it. Ewing with the rebound. Pacers have missed the last 6 shots. 40 seconds to go in the third. Indiana by 5. Ewing puts the move on Antonio Davis. Yes, and it comes.
Well, Pat Riley's faith and confidence in Patrick Ewing after he picked up his 4th foul has helped the Knicks get back into this ballgame as he has played with a lot of concentration, making good plays, still being aggressive at both ends of the floor as far as challenging shots and rebounding. And sometimes when you get in foul trouble, it makes you concentrate better.
Well, the Knicks, down by as many as 12 here in the third, have trimmed it to 2. 20 seconds remaining in the third. The Knicks with a 14-4 run. Shot clock at 5. Miller couldn't find the shot. Fleming does. Final seconds, and Dale Davis able to stuff. Here's Hubert Davis, and that is the end of the third quarter. So Patrick Ewing with 17 points, 17 rebounds, and 4 blocked shots, hanging in playing with the 4 fouls, has brought the Knicks back within 4 after they trailed by 12. Back after this from your local station.
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens.
The 1995 Mitsubishi Galant, filled with thoughtful details.
These are a few of my favorite things.
Lease a new Galant S for just $1,250 down and $199 a month for 36 months.
These are a few of my favorite things.
The affordable Galant S lease, perhaps the most favorite thing of all.
Is your fax machine still in the Stone Age? Only one company uses the latest laser imaging technology in every plain paper fax machine it makes. Mita. To survive in the future, the times demand Mita.
Something big is happening at McDonald's. It's the big taste of the unique McRib sandwich, smothered in tangy barbecue sauce with slivered onions, served hot and fresh on its own special roll. You'll go for it in a big way.
These are the players. These are the stories. These are the moments. These are the memories. Great players, magical moments, wonderful stories, NBA stories live at the finals next Sunday on NBC.
A world premiere, Love on the Run, NBC tonight.
I was running late the other day when the car started acting up. You know, a little light came on, it says check engine. You know, the one that always means a trip to the dealer, right? Well, I go to AutoZone. I tell the guy about it. He says, let's take a look. So we go outside, pop the hood, and he starts running some tests right there. Turns out it was just something little, but he saved me a lot. You know, if they can test this stuff for free at AutoZone, why would you go anyplace else?
Oh, give me a home where the buffalo roam, where the deer and the antelope play, where seldom is heard a discouraging word, and the skies are not cloudy all day.
For all you lone riders out there in search of blue skies and wide open spaces, RTD invites you to be part of the solution. Get on board.
Bill Stewart, winner of the Emmy Award for Best News Anchor.
This copyrighted telecast of the National Basketball Association may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of the NBA.
Patrick Ewing remaining on the floor despite the 4 fouls. Able to put this move on and threw the foul, went to the line, hit a three-pointer. The reaction of Pat Riley, who has stayed with his big man. The Pacers now lead 71-67 as this fourth quarter gets underway. Marv Albert, Pat Gukas, and Ahmad Rashad with Hannah Storm. For the Knicks and the Pacers, it has come down to this, the final quarter of basketball. Vern Fleming gets inside. Ewing on the back tap, recovered by McKee. Reggie Miller 0 for 5 in the third quarter. McKee with the rebound. And then had it stripped. Here comes Hopper. Again, the Knicks looking to run. Successful with changing up, going to the running game the other night at Indianapolis. Doing it here again tonight. On the rebound, it is Dale Davis. So Larry Brown has Vern Fleming and Reggie Miller in the backcourt. Dale Davis, Derek McKee, and Rick Smits up front. Smits is playing with 4 fouls. Smits being guarded by Mason. Hopper had it diagnosed. And here comes Hubert Davis. It is a 2-point Indiana lead.
Well, Derek Harper smelled it out. He timed it beautifully, picked it off right in that passing lane to get an easy one for Hubert Davis.
Indiana has led by as many as 12. Indiana did not shoot well in the third quarter, though. Only 5 of 18 from the field. McKee played by Oakley. Smits with the pick. Smits having trouble with the shorter Anthony Mason. McKee buries the three-pointer. The Knicks want it as a 2-point field goal. Well, apparently the Knicks thought it was a 24-second violation. But it is a 3, and the Pacers lead by 5.
All 3 officials made eye contact, but nobody could say that the shot was not released in time.
Several Knicks saying, hey, it was a 2-pointer. Others saying no 24-second violation. But Indiana got the call. Here's Mason. Anthony Mason stepping it up in the second half. He's been a major factor for the Knicks. Indiana by 3. Mason with 8 points, 7 rebounds. The matchup is Davis against Fleming. Hopper, who has done a good job remaining with Miller. And a foul called away from the ball. It's on Hopper, his 3rd.
Well, let's see if this is a 24-second violation or not. You see the shot clock in the lower left-hand corner as Derek McKee loads up and it should have been a violation. It already hit double zeros before that ball was out of Derek McKee's hand.
Timeout, 2 minutes gone by in the fourth. Pacers by 3.
Houston battles the champions of the East. The finals start Wednesday night on NBC.
Ohio, Texas, parts from 174 suppliers in 32 states. They all come together right here in Georgetown, Kentucky, in the Toyota Camry. Built by Americans to exceptional quality standards. With this kind of craftsmanship, all the pieces fit together beautifully. The 1994 Toyota Camry.
The secret to a strong finish is endurance. High endurance from Old Spice. All day long it proves it's the longest lasting, hardest working, the best deodorant stick. It evaporates less quickly. It also lasts longer, protects better. Now that's endurance. For the longest lasting, hardest working, the best deodorant stick, demand proof. Get high endurance from Old Spice. You won't go far without it.
1977, butterfly collar. Walk outside with that on in San Antonio, now you'll burn up. Super Joy, tell us about that figure roll from the free throw line.
You know, that was my patent. That was my patented shot. One thing I could do was finger roll. Oh, yeah, I can do that.
Cold-filtered Miller Genuine Draft. The cold ones. For those who've discovered its smooth draft taste.
You know, I've been looking for that.
The world is a very cool place. So get out of the old and get into the cold.
Miller Genuine Draft presents Genuine Moments.
Tonight's Miller Moment looks back to the last time the Pacers and the Knicks reached the finals. For the Pacers, 1974 in the ABA against the Kentucky Colonels. Pacers led by number 34, Mel Daniels, and by number 30, George McGinnis, but Indiana lost in 5 games. The New York Knicks last made the finals in 1973, a team featuring Willis Reed and Bill Bradley, and the guard play of Walt Clyde Frazier, Dave DeBusschere and Earl the Pearl Monroe, Jerry Lucas, John Ginelli and company. The Knicks defeated the Lakers in 5 games. In recognition of that, Miller Genuine Draft will donate $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund. 9:50 to go in the fourth. The Pacers with a 74-71 lead on the Knicks. Reggie Miller has missed his last 6 shots. McKee rejected by Ewing. That is his 5th block shot.
Patrick has the freedom to roam defensively right now as he's matched up with Dale Davis, not an offensive player. Mason is guarding Smith inside.
Harper for 3. And he has tied the game at 74. Garrett Harper has come up big in the 7th game. Knicks and Pacers at 74 apiece. Here is Rick Smith, rebounded by Patrick Ewing. John Starks has returned. Starks and Harper at the guards. Ewing, Smith, and Mason on the front line. Ewing played by Smith. Harper for 3. And Smith with the rebound.
Good defensive job that time by Smith. Aware now that Patrick is going to the offensive boards every time he kept his body between him and the basket.
Workman eluding Harper. Ewing rebounds and takes it down for Harper. Another fast break opportunity for the Knicks, who have changed their style the last 2 games. Timeout called by the Pacers. The Knicks lead by 2.
Not so complicated, as simple as can be. You're always a comfort, set my spirit free. Oh, you're a part of me, that's the heart of me. Dr. Pepper, you're a part of me. Dr. Pepper, you're a part of me.
One of the ways Ryder makes your move easier is by renting trucks with automatic transmission. Because moving doesn't have to be an uphill battle. Ryder, we're there when you need us.
When Dave Thomas created Wendy's new Mozzarella Chicken Supreme, other cheeses wanted in, but only one had just the right flavor.
That's the reason why we use mozzarella.
Oh, well, never mind.
Wendy's new Mozzarella Chicken Supreme.
Besides being an educator, Jim Elkins is a collector of antiques and an occasional Montana trout. Having owned a dozen Toyota cars, Jim naturally made the T100 his first Toyota truck. Your typical big truck owner? No. But then the T100 is not your typical truck. Observe the Detroit Free Press. The cabin reminds one of the Toyota Camry in equipment and comfort. The Toyota T100 puts you in a whole new class.
The NBA on NBC is brought to you by new Ice Brewed Ice Draft from Budweiser. Taste the future of draft beer. By Nike, who encourages you to participate in the lives of America's youth. And by Toyota, who invites you to check out their full line of quality trucks. You just gotta love them.
Derek Harper on the high screen roll situation, reads his man, going underneath, raises up, and knocks down his second three-pointer of the night. And Patrick Ewing pulling down, rebound number 20, and the long outlet just had enough backspin on it for Derek Harper to catch up to it.
20 rebounds by Ewing, tying his playoff career high. Ewing also with 6 assists, 5 blocks, 17 points. Knicks with a 7-0 run. Off the leg of Harper, a new 24 for the Pacers. Let's go to Hannah Storm.
Well, this is what Larry Brown told his team in this last huddle. He said, you are not playing to win, you are playing to lose. You guys need to loosen up. We need to play our game and be aggressive on offense. Marv?
Thank you, Hannah. Strong words from Larry Brown, sensing perhaps some desperation. The past 2 games, the Knicks have had their difficulties in the fourth quarter against the Pacers. But Indiana not shooting well here. For the second half, 6 of 25 and turning it over.
Well, right now, every pass is being challenged. In the 4 minutes of this fourth quarter, the Pacers have not gotten a good shot. And when they go to the offensive glass, it gives the Knicks a chance to run out.
Starks, hand check by Miller, finds Ewing. Ewing puts the move on Smith. Ewing, and it's knocked out of bounds by Ewing.
So an aggressive offensive move by Patrick Ewing, and it's amazing. Even he's been playing with 4 fouls for a lot of minutes now. The officials almost give you a break because if you're playing hard and aggressively and trying not to foul, they'll give you the benefit of the doubt.
Well, Starks and Miller in a collision. They both went down. Smith's also playing with 4. Smith's, it counts, and the foul. Anthony Mason called on the foul, and Smith's will go to the line.
Reggie working on the baseline, gets tripped from behind by John Starks and rolled over as Reggie's head hits the deck. Anthony Mason giving up about 6 or 7 inches to Rick Smith there. He is matched up with him to protect Patrick Ewing, to keep from having to guard Smith, and also to enable Patrick to hang around inside, block and change shots and rebound. That being the case, the Pacers should pull somebody up high to take Patrick above the free throw line.
Well, Smith's making his first appearance at the line, not able to give the Pacers the lead. You saw Reggie Miller over at the Indiana bench. He's been replaced by Byron Scott. Looked like Miller took a shot in the head off that collision. Ewing with a drop step. Yes, and it counts. And that is number 5 on Smith.
And this is the offensive move that was so good to Patrick Ewing in the first 2 games, feeling he has that quick step to get by Rick Smith. And if that double team does not come down quickly enough, Patrick can not only get that shot off, but draw a foul.
Another 3-point play by Ewing. You recall Game 7 against the Chicago Bulls 2 weeks ago. Ewing with the silent first half and then came on strong in the second half. He has had a very solid game here tonight. Scott from 3. Ewing was outside defending. It's over the top of the backboard, and the ball will go to New York. Very impressive stat line for Patrick Ewing. 6:45 remaining in the fourth quarter. The Knicks trailing by as many as 12, now lead by 3. Hoffer, played by Workman. Reggie Miller getting set to return. Starks comes off the pick. Mason. The Knicks 81. The Pacers 76.
Every time a New York Knicks guard penetrates, something good happens. It draws the defense. They either get a second shot or an easy lay-in like that.
Rick Smith with a hard driving move. Knicks wanted an offensive foul. It's a 12-4 run by the Knicks. They're up 81-78. Just under 6 minutes to go in the fourth. Not a good shot by Hoffer. Air ball on a turnaround jump. Here comes Workman. Haywood Workman played on a switch by Patrick Ewing. Byron Scott, yes. 17 for Scott. And the Knick lead is down to 1. Pat Riley wants to talk it over with 5:36 remaining in the fourth.
Crack open open a smoother, better draft. Ice Draft from Budweiser. It's ice brewed, chilled below freezing, then cold filtered. From now on, a cold draft just isn't cool enough. Ask for Ice Draft, only from Budweiser.
History teaches primordial perspiration shouldn't mess with one's style. Thus, new Right Guard Pure Power Clear Gel. It's clear without flaky white stuff. New Right Guard Clear Gel. Anything less would be uncivilized.
Braun Flex Control. The first electric shaver with a pivoting head. It automatically adjusts to every contour of your face. Flex Control from Braun. Braun, the last word in shavers.
Excuse me, could you tell me how to get to Bakersville?
Sure. Take 23 north to M33 west to I-14 south, and you're there.
Thanks.
You bet.
Excuse me, can you tell me how to get to Bakersville?
Head right over those mountains.
Thanks.
This week on The Tonight Show, Billy Crystal, David Cassidy, David Robinson, and David Hasselhoff from Baywatch.
You know, I'm gonna go down, see if I can teach these people a little something about beach safety.
Did I say Jaywatch or Baywatch? Well, watch The Tonight Show all this week.
Right at the start of the playoffs, back page story in the New York Post, Patrick Ewing proclaiming, "We'll win it all." And in this seventh and decisive game, he has come up in very strong fashion.
Is he working on defense or what? Playing everybody, challenging every shot. Ever since 4:39 of the third period, when he picked up his fourth personal foul, he has played some kind of basketball game with some kind of concentration.
And the Indiana Pacers, who came out with 68% extraordinary shooting in the first half, were caught by the Knicks after leading by as many as 12. Here's Starks. John Starks taking it right to the basket. And the Knicks lead is now 3 with 5:15 remaining in the fourth.
Starks finished off that play, but he was set free on the high screen by Patrick Ewing.
Workman lost it. Harper with another steal. And a foul is called against the Pacers. It's on Dale Davis, his fourth. Well, Derek Harper had 5 steals in Game 5 on Friday night. Just came up with the script right here for Harper, his third steal of this game. Knicks with the ball, 3-point lead. Starks playing with the 4 fouls, as is Ewing. And away from the ball, let's see what the call is here. With Antonio Davis and Patrick Ewing getting involved, could be a double. It is a double foul, so that's number 5 on Ewing.
And all precipitated by the aggressive play of Antonio Davis, refusing to give Patrick Ewing that position. He's done that all series, gotten around, fronted, got the hip in on, pushed him out, and it was good aggressive defense by Davis, and Patrick battling there. Very tough call at this particular point by Jake O'Donnell, but the correct one.
Antonio Davis with his 4th, Patrick Ewing with number 5, and Pat Riley with no question about leaving Ewing in at this point. He gambled earlier, but now it's the only decision. Ewing handles the pass, facing a double team, finds Mason. Patrick Ewing's passing has been very sound. He's been piling up the assists. 5-point Knick lead. And a foul call on Starks. Patrick Ewing with 7 assists. Starks called for his 5th foul.
Again, knowing that he has to keep close eye and hand and body on Reggie Miller, which is the most difficult assignment for John Starks. Both of them have been chasing each other on those baselines. I don't know how they have enough strength to shoot the ball when they get open.
And now Mike Mathis calling it an offensive foul on Indiana. Reggie Miller called for his first, and that gets Larry Brown going, taking a long walk along the sideline. We come up on 4 minutes to go in the fourth. The Knicks 85 and the Pacers 80. Charles Oakley is back trying to set the pick, and Ewing did not see the pass.
And it was not Patrick's fault. Derek Harper letting him know that Patrick was going down the lane, side of the lane, to set a screen. And Derek Harper doesn't know why. I don't know why. He tried to throw the ball there.
Mason in a battle with Smith. Miller, three-pointer. And it looked like Ewing got a piece of it. Patrick Ewing still playing very aggressive defense despite the 5 fouls. Reggie Miller had missed his previous 6 shots. Knicks 85, the Pacers 83. Here is Ewing. And Ewing gets it back. Harper for 3. And a loose ball foul called. It's on the Knicks. It's on Mason.
So Reggie Miller coming out higher and wider off this pass by Derek McKee. Good pressure by Charles Oakley, and Patrick doing his job, coming out as far as he has to challenge that shot. He may have just ticked the ball. He definitely got part of the hand of Reggie Miller on that shot.
Mason is called for his 5th foul. Indiana ball. They are down by only 2. 3:15 remaining in the fourth quarter. Miller lost it. Recovered by Dale Davis. And Harper is on it. Mason feeds back out to Oakley. Charles Oakley hearing some moans from the crowd as he started to release that jump shot, although he's had a good touch this season from the outside and is extended to an 87. 83 Knick lead. We are down to 2.5 remaining in the fourth quarter. The winner advances to the NBA final to face the Houston Rockets. McKee hits the three-pointer. Derek McKee with his 2nd straight from downtown, and it brings Indiana within 1.
No player on either team is hesitating at all on these open shots. Both teams playing with a lot of confidence. When they get the opening, they're letting it go. They might not ever get another open one.
Shot clock at 6. Ewing. Yes. Patrick Ewing from way out to give the Knicks an 89-86 lead. 22 points for Ewing, along with a playoff career high 21 rebounds. Knicks have 3 timeouts left. Indiana 3 and a 20. Here's Miller. Yes. Reggie Miller cuts it to a 1-point Knick lead. A minute and 40 to go in the fourth quarter. Mason, Oakley, Ewing up front. Harper and Starks at the guards. Oakley passed up the shot this time, and we got a traveling violation call on Charles Oakley. And the Knicks take a timeout. A minute, 26 remaining in the fourth. Knicks lead by 1.
This is the award-winning Eagle Vision from the Chrysler Corporation. Eagle Vision. Pretty cool, huh?
If you lust for power, try this. 1,340 cc's of rolling thunder. It's called Harley-Davidson, and you'll find it in all its glory at Southeast Harley in Cleveland, where you can get anything from an FXR to a BLT. But if you go, bring your love of the 2-lane blacktop and your Visa card. Because at Southeast Harley, they'll take you to hog heaven, but they won't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Are you still drinking the old thing? Try the next thing, Powerade. With 33% more carbos than Gatorade and a taste you can really slam. Powerade, the next thing.
A minute, 26 remaining in the fourth. When we resume, it will be Pacer ball. The Knicks clinging to a 1-point lead. Timeouts remaining. The Knicks with 14 fouls. Indiana with 1 foul to give. This has certainly been an unpredictable series containing a number of bizarre elements. A little bit of everything, dramatic shifts in momentum, record-shattering, low-scoring game by the Knicks. That extraordinary fourth-quarter performance by Reggie Miller, a little celebrity trash-talking episode, plus players and coaches on the Knicks complaining about criticism by media and fans. And it comes down to a terrific seventh and final game. A minute and 20 remaining as Workman sets up against Hopper. Smits and Ewing each with 5. Smits able to get in, but could not hit. Rick Smits with a beautiful move, but could not score. And the Knicks take possession as we come up on 1 minute remaining in the fourth. Ewing with 7 on the shot clock. Who will take the shot? Starks does the 3. Air ball. 24-second violation.
Well, John Stark saying a hit on the elbow, but terrible spacing that time by the Knicks as Patrick Ewing just able to get rid of that ball in time that nobody to swing the ball to on the other side of the floor. Charles Oakley buried himself in the left corner.
Well, the Pacers had an opportunity. Smits did not put it down. The Knicks with a chance could not find the shot. Knicks by 1. 40 seconds to go in the fourth. The winner goes to the NBA Finals. Beautiful pass. Ewing tried to block it, but Dale Davis put it down, and Indiana leads by 1. 90-89. Timeout taken. 34 and 5/10 seconds to go in this fourth quarter.
Well, the Knicks have been jumping out to help on Reggie Miller all night long. This time, Charles Oakley got caught too far out. A beautiful feed by Hayward Workman to find Davis with a dunk, and should have been a foul on Ewing.
This is the Eagle Vision TSI. With an 11-speaker spatial imaging sound system, solar control windshield, even driver and passenger airbags. Chrysler Corporation's revolutionary cab-forward design gives you more room inside. Eagle Vision also includes a 24-valve, 214-horsepower engine, as well as anti-lock brakes. Those of you looking for a simulated wood grain dashboard, we've got bad news for you.
I can't go out there. The pollen will be worse. I gotta need this job. My eyes are itchy. I'm stuffed up. I'm desperate.
With a leading allergy brand, you'll still be stuffed up, but with new DayQuil, you won't. New Vicks DayQuil Allergy. More medicines for more complete relief than the leading brand.
What a day.
New DayQuil Allergy. The anytime stuffy nose, sneezing, runny nose, itchy, watery eye so you can face the allergy season medicine. And new Children's DayQuil Allergy.
This is where it happened. I was lying in a ditch, face down, trying to breathe. I was lucky. Most people who get thrown from their cars have injuries so serious that their lives are never the same. A lot of them die, and like me, most of them weren't wearing a seatbelt. It's the simplest thing. Please buckle up every time. It can save your life.
McKee raising up in the corner with the shot clock at 1, and this ball is not going to get out of his hands before that shot clock hits the double zeros, and that was a big 3 points for the Indiana Pacers.
Yes, a critical call when you look back at a 1-point game at this juncture. Pacers by 1, 34 seconds left, and Charles Oakley will throw it in. The Knicks do have the full 24.
And the Pacers are expecting some kind of pick-and-roll play here between Starks and Ewing.
Well, Ewing with the pick. Here's Starks. John Starks with the drive. Ewing puts it down. And the Knicks by 1. 26 seconds to go. Workman, played by Hoffer. Down to 15 seconds. 1 second difference with the 24. Indiana playing the clock. Here's Miller firing off the mark. Last touch by the Pacers with 4 2/10 of a second remaining. The inbounds to Starks, and he's fouled, hit by Miller with 3 2/10 seconds to go. The Knicks celebrating, but still 3 2/10 seconds remaining. The go-ahead bucket scored by Patrick Ewing. Reggie Miller with the air ball. And I believe there is some confusion here as to whether or not Indiana is over the limit, or do they call it a flagrant. A hard foul by Reggie Miller, and it has been called, we're told, a flagrant foul, and Larry Brown is very upset. Flagrant foul on Miller. An enormous call here in the final seconds, and Starks not able to hit. All right, here's another look at it.
Well, just 4 seconds to go in the fourth quarter. Reggie Miller coming over to try to just take the intentional foul. And the ruling of the official felt that maybe a puncher hit to the head was called there. Very unusual call at this point. And the big factor here is the Knicks get the ball back. Watch Reggie come in again to take this foul and pushing up in the head area.
So it will be Nick Ball with a 2-point lead, 3 2/10 seconds to go. We'll be back after these words from your local station.
You know how much this guy makes a year? Like millions.
Yeah, but he's a great ball player.
See, right there, touched his head with a towel. That was $1,400.
Well, he deserves it.
You know how many times I touch my head with a towel any given day?
Several.
Right, and what do I get?
Nothing.
Just doesn't seem right.
I know.
You don't care.
Mad About You, Thursdays on NBC.
It was a day of remembrance, a time for reflection, and athletic competition. It was the 1994 Boulder, and News 4 was there. News 4 was everywhere. Les Shapiro and the News 4 sports team had the inside track. The drama had the intensity of one of America's premier road races. Les even sang the national anthem. News 4 salutes the 1994 Boulder. The Investigators, a team of reporters uncovering government waste, exposing scandals, and breaking exclusive stories. News 4's Brian Moss, Kimberly Drake, Jim West, and Rick Salinger. If you see fraud and corruption happening, call their tip line and remain anonymous. The News 4 Investigator Tip Line, 863-TIPS. Thanks for making News 4 Colorado's most watched television station.
It's been our observation that people don't necessarily like the idea of getting older.
It's a gut be gone. Roy just loves his.
In which case, we have a suggestion.
Ta-da!
Now make a win.
A 175 horsepower fountain of youth. The 94 Isuzu Rodeo. Practically amazing.
They do with 2 6/10 seconds remaining. Reggie Miller, 2 for 10 in the second half. So a different story here tonight for Reggie.
And the big show there by Charles Oakley, who got burned on the play before on the Dale Davis dunk. This time the show up forced the poor shot by Reggie Miller.
And now the Pacers are over the limit. So Starks to the line. 2 8/10 seconds remaining. The clock readjusted. The Knicks lead 92-90. John Starks 2 of 4 at the line with 16 minutes remaining in the game. Indiana had a 12-point lead. They were in front 65-53.
And John has to be careful here from the Knicks' perspective, turning around and saying something to Hayward Workman after he made that free throw. You do not want to pick up a technical at this point.
Indiana has 2 and a 20 remaining. Knicks 1 timeout left. Knicks by 4. Pacers take a timeout. Things have happened. Indiana will look for a 3-point shot and hope to draw a foul with 2 8/10 seconds remaining.
I think we'd be the most shocked people in the world if there's a foul call here. Any kind of play coming inbounds and then release beyond the 3-point arc. It might get there in about a second and a half. They'd have to shoot a line drive, but the Knicks have this ball game. But both teams playing their hearts out, playing the kind of defense that we saw throughout the series. And the big difference tonight for New York was the overwhelming advantage they had on the offensive glass, and just a tremendous performance by Patrick Ewing, in particular after he picked up that 4th foul midway through the 3rd quarter.
Well, Matt, for the 2nd straight series in a 7th and deciding game, and there have been questions concerning Patrick Ewing rising in that situation. Patrick Ewing did rise. One of the great games in his NBA career, and he's been in foul trouble throughout, but Ewing with 24 points, a playoff career record, 22 rebounds, a personal mark for Ewing, 7 assists, which is most unusual, and 5 blocked shots, 11 of his 22 rebounds off the offensive board. But this game will also be remembered for that critical flagrant foul call by Mike Mathis that was made on Reggie Miller. Certainly the Indiana Pacers vehemently disagree.
And of course, Pat Riley talking to his team about the importance of holding Reggie Miller down, and they did it in this ball game.
Eric McKee getting set to throw in. The Knicks with 28 offensive rebounds. The NBA playoff record, 30. That also a key factor. The Knicks by 4. 2 8/10 seconds to go. And here's Workman for the 3-point shot. And that will do it. The New York Knicks headed to the NBA Finals to go up against the Houston Rockets beginning Wednesday at the Summit. And they are celebrating here at Madison Square Garden. It was a terrific run for the Indiana Pacers, but let's go right now to Ahmad with Patrick Ewing.
All right, thanks, Mark. Patrick, you had a wonderful game, probably the best game of your entire career. In a situation like this, to be a superstar, you have to rise to the occasion. You did just that.
Oh, yeah, you know, we were running plays for the jump shot, and I told Coach, forget all that stuff. Give me the ball, and if I'm going to lose, let me lose it. But I feel happy my teammates came through for me, and we're going to the final.
You're on your way to play for a championship. Congratulations. All right, back to you, Marv.
All right, Ahmad. Well, Hakeem Olajuwon and his Houston Rockets have the advantage over Patrick Ewing and the New York Knicks in decisive fashion, winning both regular season games, and Hakeem dominated Ewing. We'll see what happens beginning Wednesday in Houston. The Knicks 95 and the Pacers 90 to take the series in 7. Marv Albert, Matt Lucas, Ahmad Rashad, and Hannah Storm at the Garden. This has been the NBA on NBC.